Hi, welcome back to another episode of the Empath Sisters. I'm Shelly.
Hi, I'm Bev.
And last week we talked about protection. So we're going to touch on grounding today and how we should be grounding our energy every day, especially when we are out and about. And it just helps
hmm
center us. So
Yeah.
we're going to talk about that today.
Yeah. Grounding is so important. I have to ground every single day because otherwise I feel like I'm just not myself. I feel
Yeah,
way
me
too
too.
floaty.
Yeah. Or you
Like
get like,
it's a daily thing. And sometimes I actually ground like throughout the day as well. I mean, I do it every morning anyway. It's a routine, but
mhm.
sometimes I find throughout the day I also need to ground myself. And especially actually before I work with clients, I ground every single time. Just
Yes,
just to make sure I need to be really
yes,
present and grounded while I'm working, especially when connecting with spirit. I need to be grounded as well for that. So
yes. I agree
you
with
do
you.
the same
I
thing?
do the same thing. Most of the time, I do forget to do mine in the morning, but when it gets like I get rolling and my day is coming, then I remember it's like a like I'm sure spirit is like, hello, you didn't ground, you know? So, yeah, like, hello, Shelly. And so then I'll be like, oh, yeah, I didn't ground. And so do my grounding. But I do the same thing you do
Mhm.
when I'm working with clients. Like each client, doesn't matter if it's back to back or if got like whatever, I'm always doing the same thing. Yeah, I ground
Mhm.
myself again just to make sure and clear, all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah, no, I do the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, grounding is so important. I actually teach on grounding in my intro
Mm-hmm.
course, and I also share it with clients as well when I find that they're um, really floaty, I guess is the word I would call it, or up in the crown a lot,
Yeah.
like out there. I don't want
Yeah.
to say in their head, but sometimes when you are in your head, when there's lots of chatter going on, typically we're not grounded when we're residing up here. So it's something that I share with my clients as well. And there's a bunch of different ways of grounding or just like other tools that you can use to help assist you with grounding your body, your physical body, which is also important, which I can definitely share some of those.
Yeah, for sure.
But grounding is really important for day-to-day life. Anybody who suffers from anxiety, grounding is an excellent tool for that
Mm-hmm.
as well. I think just in general, just being human beings, being in energy every single day, being out and about around people, even just around our loved ones, especially just because we are so vulnerable and we always have our guard down when we're around spouses and our kids and stuff like that. So we can be easily thrown off. So
Yeah.
that's why I ground first thing in the morning because I noticed that if, if I didn't do it first thing in the morning, it was like almost like as soon as the kids started talking to me or anything like that, it was just like could just take me right off my game. And so I decided, no, I need to ground first thing in the morning. As soon as I wake up, I ground myself before anybody talks to me, just making sure that I ground myself and that I'm good before anybody speaks to me so that I can be my best self, when I come out of my bedroom and
Yeah.
everybody starts attacking me for the day. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's just an excellent thing to practice. So,
for sure.
um,
Yeah, and I
do
find
you?
like yeah, like when this is how I kind of notice that when I'm not grounded, like I
Mhm.
start like for you guys, it's hard to explain, but sometimes like I just call it as daydreaming. It's almost like I just don't focus and I'm just like up in my head or whatever you want to say it. Like it's like daydreaming and I'm not focused on anything that they're saying to me. And they
Yeah.
even notice, they'll say like, did you hear what I said? And I'll be like, oh no, I'm so sorry. And so I that's my
Yeah.
my cue, like for you're not grounded and not centered
Yeah.
so that I can focus on being present basically. And
Yeah.
so yeah, that's how I notice. So like I said earlier, sometimes I do forget to do it in the morning, and so when that happens, then yes, right away
Mhm.
it's like, oh gosh, like I forgot to ground myself because I am not present
Right.
whatsoever. And so
Yeah.
I will ground myself right away. But I mean, there are different ways of grounding, and not
Mm-hmm.
everybody like um, find that, different grounding techniques work for different people, obviously. And I know that you can
Oh, for
tell us
sure.
a little bit, on those differences for those that don't understand how to ground.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, what I would like to say actually before I get into like different tools for
Mm-hmm.
grounding is just kind of bringing some awareness to what it might feel like when you're
Right.
not grounded.
Mm-hmm.
So if we bring awareness there, then we can make change, is what I always say. And so some of the signs of not being grounded can result in feeling, some people would say, oh, I feel really disconnected,
Mm-hmm.
or you might feel irritated, you
Yeah.
might feel really snappy. You can feel really lightheaded. That's kind of that spacey feeling, I guess, is what you were calling.
Yeah.
Um, what else?
Well, and anxiety too. Like you can feel those
Mhm.
in your, like sometimes I do. Like I actually can feel it in my body where I'm, it's almost like a high vibration for me sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but like I can tell when my anxiety is up, and that's another
Yeah.
reason to ground as well.
Oh, for sure. That's what I mean. Like even for people who suffer with anxiety, just grounding yourself, doing this in the morning or anytime throughout the day that you are feeling just starting to feel anxious and a little bit out of control, it's a great tool to kind of bring yourself back in and gain that control again.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just like, feeling disconnected, spacey, really irritated. Those are huge signs right there that you are ungrounded.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of when I would say if you have that awareness of like, oh, you know, okay, this is typically not how I feel. Or I just, you were snappy at somebody else and you're just like, you
Yeah.
catch yourself going, whoa, that's not me. That is not like me.
Right.
Then that's a good indication that maybe you should kind of just get back into your body. You're way out here and you're just being affected. And so you just kind of need to like come back and be centered again. So
Yeah.
those I would say are some signs as to not being grounded. So
Right. Yeah.
I know that can happen throughout my day. And that's why sometimes, I'll do it first thing in the morning and then I'll ground myself again before I start working with clients just
Yeah.
to bring myself back and be centered. And even like I said, working with spirit, you definitely need to be grounded in your body
Mm-hmm.
when you are connecting and opening up and allowing spirit to connect with you. It's a great tool to be grounded. So,
For
and then
sure.
you're just more centered for your clients.
Yeah. Well, and then
But
it's
yeah,
just ease, right? Like the ease of even connection with those spirits and getting the
oh
information,
yeah,
right? So definitely,
yeah,
yeah, for sure.
absolutely. Yeah, so some of the tools, there's like different tools that you can use to assist you in grounding your body. And one of them is actually eating. And my students usually get really excited because they're like, yes, I can eat whatever I want. Okay, I can keep eating those chips every night. And I'm like, no, not really. That's not what I mean. Um, but just eating any root veggies
Mm-hmm.
is good for grounding the physical body. So, anything like carrots, beets,
Yeah.
sweet potatoes, radishes, things like that. Any root veggies are really good for the physical body. I know that I like to cut up some veggies and keep them with me, just in little baggies, taking them with me throughout the day. And just as an extra tool, just to help ground my physical body. So that's something that anybody else can do.
Yeah.
Um,
There's also, you can wear clothing too. Some people
yeah,
feel, more grounded when they're wearing a certain color of shirt or pant or whatever. I know some
yeah,
people do that, even just like for even chakras, right? And we can talk about chakras one day too. But yeah, you
yeah.
definitely can wear clothing. So like a red shirt or an orange shirt, like because those really help ground your root or your sacral chakras for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And
Mm-hmm.
another great tool is meditation. Meditation is a great tool to ground. And it doesn't have to just be, sitting in yoga pose, closing your eyes and meditating. You can go for a walk,
Yeah.
walking meditations. Those are great. There's also actually a great app that you can get on your phone or iPad or whatever, and it's called Insight Timer.
Yeah.
It's white and it has like a metal singing bowl for the picture,
Mhm.
and it's free, and it is amazing. There's like, I don't know,
Oh,
thousands, millions. I don't even know how many.
lots. And
There's lots.
yeah, and you can type in any
Yeah.
kind of like meditation that you can think of. Like if you
Yeah.
just want even a 1 minute meditation just to start out,
Yeah.
or like Bev said, there is walking meditations on there because I use one and it's
Oh, nice.
excellent.
Oh,
Um, yeah, and uh, um, there's another one that I use. Oh, and like, like if you're having trouble sleeping, you can
yeah.
have like sleep meditation or just grounding meditations. Like there's
Yeah.
tons and tons of different ones, even for kids. You can
Yeah.
actually have them for kids, for babies, whatever, and they are very, very helpful. It's a
Yeah.
great app. I recommend it as well to everybody that
Yeah.
it's just and it's free. So,
It's amazing that
yeah.
it's free. That's what I was
Yeah.
saying. I can't believe that it's free. It's such an amazing tool to
Yes.
have access to. And yeah, there's guided meditations of all kinds.
Mm-hmm.
There's just music, there's just sleep, there's stuff for
Yeah.
kids, and there's different teachers on there, and they'll be live. I think they
Yeah,
kind of
they
offer
do.
different live
Yeah.
meditations or group stuff. So yeah, it's awesome, awesome, awesome. So Insight Timer, we can probably add it into our on our notes when we post this video,
Yeah,
just
I'll
as a
try and see if I
reminder.
can add a link. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So that's a another great tool to use as
Mm-hmm.
well. Connecting with nature, of course, is another excellent tool, of course, to get grounded and back in the body.
Yes.
So like walking, running, if you're a runner, um,
But
going
there's
by
another way
water.
too. If you aren't a
Yeah,
walker or runner, you can actually
yeah,
just, well, in Canada we have snow, but in the summer months, like spring, summer, and fall, a
yeah,
lot of times what I like to do is I actually just go to my backyard and I
yeah,
just place my feet on the grass and I
yeah,
just connect and or sit,
yeah.
however you would like to do it. But yeah, you can definitely do that. Winter is a little bit hard just because it is cold. But I mean, if you're willing to go outside in the winter, be
For sure.
on, go right ahead. Do it.
Yeah.
I am not a big fan of winter, so I imagine in the winter. But anyway, yeah. So or you can do what I do sometimes is when you do connect with nature and you are out and you even have a tree in your backyard, go hug a
Yeah.
tree. You really will feel so connected to Mother Earth. It is crazy. I just love it. So
Yeah.
that's
It
another one
is.
too.
It's a good one. I know I had a student once in one of my classes, and she just is like that. She loves trees, just
Mhm.
always feels like she wants to just go and hug a tree.
Yeah.
She just feels really drawn to them. And she's like, every time I go with my kids to the park, I just sit there on the bench and look at all the trees. And I just want to go over there, but I don't want to embarrass my kids by just going up and hugging the trees.
Yeah.
And I just said, you know what? Every time you go to the park with your kids, you don't have to sit on the bench.
Nope.
Go and sit up against the tree and
Right.
just hang out there and just
Hmm.
ground yourself, while your kids are playing in the park. So you can definitely do that.
Oh yeah,
I
and
know
you
if
can just place your hand on it even if you
Oh,
don't
for
feel like
sure.
you want anybody to watch you. But like, yeah, like any touch
Yeah.
is totally grounding for sure.
Yeah. And if
Hmm.
you're lucky enough to be near water or live near water where you can go to the beach or,
Yeah,
put your feet in the water, that's an excellent way to ground yourself as well. And it's very cleansing. So,
yeah, and
or
it
go for
doesn't.
trail walks.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be like what Bev said about water. Like it does not have to be ocean or anything. Just so you know,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
you can
no.
go to a creek, you can go to a river, you can go to a lake. Whatever you
Hmm.
see a body of water, it can be a puddle if you really wanted
Hmm.
to. So it
Or
just
go jump
depends
in the
on.
puddle.
Yeah, exactly.
Have your inner child come out and go jump in the
Yeah,
puddles.
exactly.
Actually saw
So
one of Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that, yeah, like it can be anything really. Like, even if you feel like you want to just put your feet in that water without shoes, like you can. And so,
Yeah,
yeah, it's definitely refreshing. So it's
for
another
sure.
way. So just so you know, you're not limited just because if you don't live, near a big body of water. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
Another great tool, actually, one of my other students shared a quick grounding exercise, and it was using the five senses.
Yes.
So using, like, just taking a moment and just bringing yourself in and going, okay, what are 5 things that I can see right now? And then you
Right.
just say them in your mind as you look around. You can say them out loud if you want to, but you could just say them right
Mhm.
into your mind. And then what are 4 things that you hear? 3 things that you smell, just things like that.
Yeah.
And just going through all of the 5 different senses and working your way down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it just literally takes a minute and it'll
Yeah.
just bring you back into your body.
That's
It's
right.
bringing you centered. So
Yeah.
that's an easy tool as well that you can use. That's quick and easy.
Another
Another tool
one.
you can use, yep, say crystals.
Well, no, I was going to say breathing, just
Oh,
breathing.
breathing. Yep,
Yeah.
breathing's another good one.
A lot of people think just because you have to do yoga, you have to do breathing exercises. No, you do not.
Yeah,
You can actually just center yourself by doing a couple breaths and
using
just,
breath.
matching them. So, what I normally do
Yeah,
is just, when you breathe in, you hold and then for a second and then you let it go and exhale the same length as when you inhaled. You can
yeah,
do it as long as you want, as short as you want, to however you feel in your body. So breath is
yeah,
is very important as well. And we
yeah.
obviously live with breath. So it definitely calms your whole system down. So that
Hmm.
is another good
Yeah,
one.
breath is a great one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if many people out there know, but shallow breathing actually tells your body subconsciously that you're in the fight, flight, or freeze response.
Right.
So I know a lot of us tend to shallow breathe all the time. So if you can remind yourself to just pause throughout your day and just do a little bit of deep breathing and just
Yeah.
kind of expand your lungs and just making
Yeah.
space in your body and bringing that breath farther down into the body is also so good for you. So yeah, I love that. Matching your inhalations to your exhalations,
Mm-hmm.
counting maybe 1 to 3,
Yeah.
pause, and then again counting 1 to 3 as you exhale. So
That's
it's
right.
a great technique. Breath is amazing. It's a good
Yes, it
tool to
is.
use as well.
Yes, for sure. And try to remember not to breathe in your top chest. Try to breathe from your belly up and out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
because a lot
sure.
of us, like Bev said, we do shallow breathing. And yeah, when we do shallow breathing, it's actually in our chest. And
Yeah.
we should be breathing from the belly. So just an
Yeah.
awareness that try to expand and in the belly when you're doing your breath. So
Yeah, for anybody that uses visualization as a tool, just imagine your lungs as you're breathing, and just imagine them as balloons, and that you're just
mm-hmm.
filling them up as big as you can, and then just seeing them completely deflate and pushing all that breath out of the balloon and just completely deflating. So,
Right.
if just as a visual aid, you can
Yeah,
use that too.
for
So,
sure. Yeah.
yeah, and then the other one I was going to say was the crystals. You can use crystals as well to help with grounding, um, which is a great tool. I use crystals all the time. I
Mm-hmm.
literally have them everywhere,
Yeah.
on myself as well. So
Mm-hmm.
some great grounding crystals could be smoky quartz. They could be tiger's eye, black onyx. Black tourmaline is
Mm-hmm.
absolutely one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I love that one so much. Tourmalated
Yeah.
quartz is also another great one.
Yeah.
Um,
You can actually
yeah,
use
so
amethyst as well. And you can
mhm,
also use clear quartz. It is a
yeah,
master stone. So you can use those too as well. It just whatever you
yeah,
resonate with. So that's what I usually try to
totally.
tell clients. Like whatever you're, excuse me, um,
Mhm.
whatever you're resonating with and call to, you will know what stone to use to help
Yeah,
yourself that day. So yeah,
oh,
for
for
sure.
sure. It's
Mm-hmm.
like carrying rocks, piece of earth. So it's very grounding.
Yeah. Yeah, which we do every day.
Yes, isn't
Oh,
that
and
the
a
truth?
tip to wearing stones if
Yeah,
you're a woman. This is what I usually like to tell my clients is if it's small enough. I mean, obviously you don't want a big honking stone, but to put it in your bra. The reason why I put mine in my bra is because at night when you're going to change, you're going to remember that that stone is in your bra, and then you're going to remember to put it back in the morning, like wherever you're changing, because then it's going to fall out instead of having it in your pocket. Because if you have it in your pocket in your pants, you're just going to take your pants off, throw it in the laundry, and you're going to forget.
mhm,
So I always recommend putting the stones in your bra, but make sure that
yeah,
the stone is small enough so it doesn't, like, jab you or poke you or whatever, just to make it more comfortable. So,
Or make
yeah,
it look like you have a third
that
nipple.
too. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, but
I don't know if I
like I
have
said,
room for big rocks, but I can use the little
I
ones.
know that's all. Well, I do have room, but that's a whatever. Anyway, I just still use small stones,
Yeah,
and it
little
doesn't.
ones are good.
Yeah, and then like another thing too about stones, um,
Mhm.
people think the bigger the stone, the more powerful. That is not
Yeah,
true. It
yeah,
doesn't matter what size it is. So
yeah,
just be aware that you can have small stones. It's not going to be any different than having a big stone. It's still the same uh, energy that you're going to get from that stone.
for
So
sure.
yeah,
Just because it is the actual stone, so it
right,
doesn't matter the size of the stone.
exactly.
Um, and people make crystal bracelets, and there's lots of jewelry that's out there. There's amazing, amazing jewelry out there that people
Yes.
make with gemstones and
Mm-hmm.
crystals. And so, yeah, you can check that out as well and just have a piece with you. If you don't
Yeah,
want to wear them in your bra, you can
that's
also
right.
wear it
Yeah.
fashionably too. So,
Yes, you can.
yeah.
Necklace, earrings,
Earrings.
bracelets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So,
Yeah, so many different ways to ground yourself. And I also do, as I was saying, I do a grounding exercise every single morning and, before I work with clients and stuff like that. So I definitely would love to share my grounding exercise with everybody. So I won't do it in this episode, but I will record it and we will add it on as a second recording so that you can listen to it and use it as a tool if you'd like. You're welcome to it.
mm-hmm.
And it's just a guide. So you can take what you want from it and you can make it into your own or anything like that. So
Right.
it's one of my favorites
Yeah.
that I use. So yeah, I'll
Yeah.
definitely share that at the end as well. So
That's fantastic. Great.
hope you
Yeah,
like it.
I'm glad. Yeah, I'm sure that it will help a lot of people out there that, want to maybe try and learn or have been
Yeah.
doing it and just need a different way of, grounding too. So great. That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
for
Thanks.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime. I
Yeah.
love sharing. So
Yeah,
sharing,
for
yeah,
sure.
there's no harm in that. The more people that have these tools, I think the better off we can be out in this physical world,
I
being
agree.
around
Yes. Oh, I
everybody.
agree. Yes. I don't understand why we all don't, as a collective, share our, you know, ideas, how we do things, or
Knowledge.
how, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's important that how do we learn
totally.
knowledge and by
Yeah,
sharing. So
for sure.
yeah.
Educating is so helpful. And the more
Mm-hmm.
educating I think that we can do, especially in this realm, there's lots
Yeah.
of education out there, of course.
Yes.
But just spiritually, it just doesn't seem like there's a whole lot. And I know
Mm-hmm.
that, times are changing and we're moving forward, which is great.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's just important. And I've had a lot of people come forward and say, how come we don't know this stuff already? Isn't this something we should just know when we come here?
Yeah.
I'm like, you're right. You would think that would be
But
amazing,
we
but
don't. Yeah,
we
we
don't.
don't. We actually come
So
here not remembering anything because that's why we're here, is to learn.
yeah,
So
learn
that's
and
the reason why.
experience.
Yeah.
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 So why not share it if we know it as we come
Right.
across it? So put it out
Exactly.
there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad that you're going to, share your guided grounding meditation, and I'm
Yeah.
excited to even do it myself.
Oh,
So,
sweet. That's
yeah.
awesome. And if any of you guys like it or whatever, and you want to comment on it, that would be cool. I'd love to hear your thoughts on
Yeah,
that. So,
for
but
sure.
yeah. So, and on our next episode, Shelly and I have decided that we'd like to talk about the importance of therapy and
Yeah.
self-care. So it'll
Yeah.
kind of be like a combination of therapy techniques, different healing modalities,
Hmm.
self-care, just all of that stuff. So it's
Yeah.
something that I practice all the time and I preach about it because I practice it. And
Yeah.
I know from my own journey and my own experience when I'm not practicing it, how it affects me. So this is
Yes.
why I practice it and preach it. So I'd love to chat about that on our
Yeah.
next episode.
No, I think
So
that's great. I totally agree. I think it's
yeah,
very important. So, and I do the same thing. I don't do not that I don't do a whole lot, but I do
yeah,
different ones for my own self, and everybody
for
has
sure.
different ways of doing self-care. So it's
Oh, for
not
sure.
about just going, and having your nails done, but it's great. Yes, that is a self-care, but there's
Oh
so
yeah.
many different ways of self-care. So, yeah, I can't
Yes,
wait
for
till we
sure.
talk about that. So, yeah,
I think it'll be a good one. So,
it will
yeah,
be.
thank you guys so much for tuning in with the Empath Sisters today.
Yeah.
Sending you love, light, and gratitude wherever this may find you. And I wish you guys the best day ever. Take
Yes.
care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.